Hi, everybody. It's your old pal Chuck, and I am excited to bring to you today from Transformers Robots in Disguise, the 2015 animated series. We have Legion Class, Underbite, and Fixit. These are starting to trickle out now, and well, I was able to pick these up off of eBay from a online retailer for a slight premium. So of course I always have to mention, don't do what I did. But these are kind of cool, and to start us off, we're going to look at Underbite. We've already seen Underbite in its one-step form, and you know that my issues with that figure, as I mentioned before, viewer did mention that if you tried pulling out the hind legs until you hear a click, that should fix it. That didn't work for me, but if you guys want to try it, but here we are with the Legion figure, and I kind of like it. Unfortunately, a lot of things in terms of the legs, they don't tab into place. A lot of it is just friction and positioning to get it standing. Um, and it's purple. Unfortunately, the jaw doesn't move, which I'm a little disappointed about. And you got that little QR code right here on the butt of the figure. So for do transformation, step one is just going to come in underneath and rotate the head down. That will just fold up, and there you have the cockpit. Step two is you just want to go ahead and rotate the front legs around, exposing the I guess would be the headlights. Step three, you want to just go ahead and you're going to rotate the legs up until you hear or feel a slight friction click. You can then go ahead and adjust the paws so it's facing straight ahead and looking somewhat level. The back's a little tricky and the instructions don't explain it that well. What you want to do is pull the legs out and around. They are on this double hinge system, and they will just basically naturally stop where I guess you can say the tail of the figure is. And then what you want to go ahead and do is rotate the legs up and around, and there's a slight gap here. I guess what was the back of the leg. That will sort of clip in to the sides here. It's not a like a definitive uh, grip and click or a tab or groove or whatever, but it does hold, and you do end up with a rather nice vehicle mode that is evocative of its animated look. Um, Now, there has been a question about the size for Underbite, and if you remember from the show, it does go into different sizes, so I feel that though the one step and even this Legion figure can be in scale with the Warrior class figures, depending on how much metal Underbite has eaten. And now here's Fixit. Now, Fixit, it's an interesting transformation, but a lot like Underbite, a lot of it is just frictioning things into place. There are tabs. It actually tabs more than Underbite does, but I feel that Underbite ends up with a more secure vehicle mode. One thing I do like is there is expressive joints used. As you can see here, there's a ball joint in the head. And then there's a ball joint mushroom cap here at the torso, as well as ball joints in the elbows. So you can actually make this like a very expressive type of figure. And I think that from watching the show, this does invoke the animated version of Fixit quite nicely. Now, unfortunately, this does make transformation just a touch fiddly, but not too bad. Speaking of which, to start the transformation, what you want to go ahead and do is flip the head down, just like so. So that little visor is covering the face. You want to make sure the arms are straight down and in a somewhat neutral position. Next, what you want to go ahead and do is flip out this whole unit, just like so. You're basically unfolding the legs from their upright position. Then what you can go ahead and do is start to position these arms and fold everything back on the torso. Just like so. Basically, there's some tabs here that will fit into grooves in the back of that gray section, just like so. Nothing like no click or anything definitive like that, but it will be um, but you will feel a connection. Next, what you want to do is you want to make sure that this, what was the crotch plate of sorts for Fixit, is facing out like that. And on the inside of the forearms, there are these little tabs that will peg in if you do this right. To on the inside of Fixit. It's actually, oh no, you know what? I think I'm sorry. You want that piece facing upward, like so, and that will line up the pegs properly, just like that. I do apologize. You want that crotch plate facing up, and there you have Fixit in its little vehicle mode. You might have to fiddle it a little just to make sure all four wheels are sticking. On mine, this wheel tends to want to not roll, but if you're on a surface with some texture to it, like a carpet, you should be fine. Both Underbite and Fixit have had one-step transformers made of them already, and for some people, those are pretty good stand-ins for the characters as they invoke their appearances in the animated medium. So then the question becomes, are these worth buying again? Now, with Underbite, I think yes, since Underbite has been shown in different sizes, um, you can actually have some fun, with making it scale up, scale down, and what have you. I mean, we don't know if it's going to get a warrior class figure or a three-step changer or something like that. So down the line, so this may be it. Fixit, on the other hand, I hate to say it, but I tend to feel that the one-step changer is the overall better figure. Yes, it's not as articulated as the Legion figure here, but I mean, I don't really think the articulation makes much of a difference. Um, the transformation is a lot smoother on the one-step figure. You don't have to work; it's not as fiddly trying to get panels and pegs lined up. But on the other hand, this figure I feel is in perfect size class relation to the warrior class figures. So it's a perfect scale mate is what I probably should have said. I'm sorry, but I mean, I know I bring up scale and Transformers, and that's been a joke since 1984. So if that's what you're kind of looking for, then yes, definitely the Legion class Fixit would scales perfectly with the Warrior class, whereas the one step I feel scales a little bit better with the three-step changers. Um, but yeah, like I said, I got these off of eBay. I unfortunately paid a little bit of a premium for them since these haven't trickled out to mass retail yet, but they should be soon. And with the graduations and birthdays coming up, these make a perfect little gift for that special someone in your life who's a college graduate. They might still collect Transformers. Hey, don't knock it. Yeah. So that's that. So for Underbite and Fixit, we will see you next time.